All right, everybody, here we are. We're up at Merlin's Beard in Lafayette, Indiana, and we are playing Imaginarium, the Dream Factory. Of course, makes me think of Nightmare on Elm Street 3, the Dream Warriors, and I promise I will not do the song. We are already about at around, I think, what, turn 4 at the moment? Is that where we're at? Okay. You are, obviously, I am your host, moi, the amazing showman. We have Kevin, the Manning. We have a Kardashian, Kendra. We have Brian the Brain Heaton, and we found this guy out on the streets. What was your name again? TJ. TJ, yeah, we already went through this joke before. He still doesn't think it's funny. Right. I'm still laughing hysterically in my head. We paid him $5 to sit down and play with us. So, all right, we each start with a player board, and our player board will give us these as our starting resources, plus we get 2 cards that will already come into effect, P1, P2. We know those based upon this, P1, P2. These are going to give us resources at the start of each one of our turns. This is the initiative track right here. Right now, Kevin, the pink guy, he is number 1 on the initiative track. And what you would do on your turn is you're going to select if you want to either try to grab one of these incomplete machines that you have to repair, or if you want, you can just grab some extra charcoalium. Look, there's funny names for all this stuff. We're just going to say it's charcoal, okay? And you can grab some extra charcoal, all right? So once you gain one of these machines, what you have to do is you have to pay the amount that's listed on, so let's say if Kevin went there, he wants this elephant right here, because why? Elephants are cool! So he would have to pay the level of the card, which is 2, plus the space where he's at. So he'd have to pay 5 total charcoalium to be able to gain that card. Once he does, it would go over to the side of his board, and he would then have to try to build it. At that point in time, the way you would build it is it's got these little, resources that you need here. We got crystals, we've got wood, we've got wood, caramels, and crystals, and then the charcoal is listed here, okay? So once you're finished with doing all that, you're actually going to carry out 2 actions. Your 2 actions are listed on your board right here. What you can do here is you can gain assistance, gain 3 extra charcoal. You can, what was this one here? You can build a card. Yes, you can actually take the card and build it, and it goes down into your area. You can exchange resources for charcoal or vice versa up to 3 times. You can destroy cards to gain back extra resources, or you can reorganize your cards in your area. Your workshop can only hold 4 total cards down here, okay? So what you're going to have to do is you're either going to have to stack them up, or you're going to have to try to just destroy them to gain extra resources back. So like if you did destroy it, you would get double the amount that's right here on the side, and in this case that would be 6 crystals that I would gain back. You can also destroy cards that are up here, and if you do that, you're only going to gain the resources that are listed at the level of the card. So it's a level 2 card. You could get like 2 wood or 1 wood and 1 crystal. Now, if you destroy an already built one too, you could also gain the victory points based upon its level. Or is it based upon its level, or you just gain 2 victory points? I think it's just you just gain 2 victory points, okay? All right, the other thing we have up here are assistants. Now, assistants are going to allow you to be able to gain special abilities. For in this case, at the end of the game, majority of resources I will break. Instead of getting 2 victory points, I will gain 3. Like Kevin over here, he's got some cool stuff because he's got this guy here who allows him to have 2 extra machine slots. So instead of 4, he can do 6, and he's also able to copy somebody else's machine to be able to gain like resources or other abilities. So as you stack these machines, this is the cool part about it is that they become more powerful. So like this ability right here, this reorganize, if I would have had 2 of these carpenters, I could stack them on top of each other, and then instead of just giving me 1 of the wood, they would give me 3, and then I could do it all the way up to 5 that I would gain of the resources. So on your turn, you would do that. Then you would complete projects. Once you carry out all your actions of what you're doing on your player board, you've built your machines, you've done your thingy here. Then you would go up here, and if you've completed any of these objectives, you're going to gain extra victory points. So in this case, this one right here says you would have to have 4 production buildings. Well, they're the blue ones. It's real easy. You could tell 4 blue, 4 blue. Kevin did that, so he put his little marker up here, and he gained 4 victory points. Well, TJ did it directly after him, but you only get victory points based minus the amount of tokens that are already up there. So TJ was only able to get 3 victory points whenever he placed up to there. The next person will only get 2, the next person only 1. These machines here will keep sliding down at the end of each round, and then you're just going to keep building up your tableau until somebody hits 20 victory points. You're going to get victory points from here. You're going to get 20, victory points from building these machines like this. What is this? A Diplomator. That's going to give you victory points, and there's other ways too where you can exchange to get victory points as well. So what we're going to do is let's put Kevin back to here. We're going to show you exactly what he's going to do on his turn, and maybe you'll get a better flow of the game. Kevin, why don't you go ahead and do it, and then I'll talk to the audience as you're doing your turn here. So the very first thing is he is going to go to here, which means he is saying he's going to pay 3 total charcoalium to be able to get this card right here. So that's all he does at the moment is he places his guy. Next, it would go to the next person in line, which is TJ, the homeless guy we found on the street, and he's going to decide where he wants to go, but he wasn't paying attention earlier, so he probably doesn't have a single clue of what he really wants to do. He was playing on his phone, which you really shouldn't do when you're trying to play games with other people. Kendra now would be next, and she would place her guy, which she wants to go on the number 2 spot. Next, we go to Brian, the brain, and he is going to take the elephant. And of course, because I have been talking to you guys, I don't even know really where I want to go. So I'm going to make it kind of simple for me, and I am just going to take the 1 charcoalium spot because I was not paying attention. So now it would go to Brian. So what he does first is he would actually collect, if we look right here, he would actually collect his resources from his player card. So in this case, he's going to gain 1 charcoalium, 1 crystal, and then he's going to gain a victory point too because of his diplomat card. That is a great card, by the way. Now that he's collected, he could also take advantage of his assistants if he had any up there. Unfortunately, he does not. Now, the other thing he can do is he can try to purchase this card. That's going to cost him 5 total charcoalium, which he is turning in now. We're going to put right there. Now he's going to take that card, and it's going to go to the side of his board because it's not actually been built yet or repaired. So now what he's going to do is he's going to select by turning this dial. Now, he's already chosen to take 3 of the charcoalium and also build a card. He cannot do that again this round. He can do 1 of them, but not both of them. So now what he's going to do is turn his dial to try to choose 2 actions that he wants to do to possibly try to build a card, try to reorganize his, his machines in front of him. He may want to try to gain an assistant. He may want to try to gain extra charcoalium. There's a lot of options here. And there are times when you can only take advantage of 1 of the 2 actions on your player board, and that does sometimes stink. So what he has decided to do, and if we look over here, we'll just come to my player board, is he has chosen these 2 that we have down here. So he is going to try to attempt to build a card, or I'm sorry, it'd be called repair a card, which means he would take it from here, and he would actually put it face up in front of him, hidden into his workshop. And he's also going to do the exchange. So the exchange can be done 3 times, which means you turn in 1 charcoal for 1 wood, or you could take 1 wood and turn it into 1 charcoal. And then, that's the same with all the other resources, 2, then 3. Or he's going to change 5 charcoal for 1 victory point. So he has decided to, looks like he's turning 1, 2, he's trying to get a copper, and he's turning in 1, 2, he's gaining 2 wood, so those were his 3 actions. And now I'd imagine he's going to build with all 3 of those. And he is building, which this is going to be fun, guys. So he built an attack card. This is a very unique situation, and I'm glad we actually filmed this. So if you wouldn't mind, Brian, can I see that card? So here's what this card does. See how it's got the little lightning bolt? This means it triggers immediately now that he has built it. This is going to make every player give him 3 pieces of wood from behind their screen, okay? What he can do then is he keeps 3, and then the rest are going to go back into the reserve. So all 3 of you have to give him 3 resources, 3 pieces of wood. Now, I happen to build this guy here. He protected me from this card. I did that on purpose so that I would never have to be subject to that heinous attack. Now, if they don't have the 3 resources that they have to give as much of the wood as they possibly can, you keep 3, and then the rest are going to go away. That is a one-time effect with that card. Now, it's really no good to him, but now what he could possibly do is deconstruct it, and then he would gain back double, so 2 crystal and 2 copper, or he would just gain 2 victory points for the card, and then that card would just go over here and just be out of the game for the rest of the game. But a great play on his part. So now that he's done that, he's done his 2 actions, correct? Yep. He has actually performed the ability. He's done all that. Now what he'll do is he'll look up here and he'll see, can I actually complete any projects? And he says no. And if he could, he would take one of his tokens and he would place it up there. In this case, he can't. So now what he does is he finishes his turn and it goes to the next player. And if we just look down here, that would be K-Man. Now, K-Man's got a lot of stuff working in his favor. Look at all them resources he's going to gather up. The dude is actually doing phenomenal. And I wouldn't be surprised if he wins. And if he does, I have to think the game's broken because Kevin never wins games.
I'm going to use your 3 wood.
So this little crazy guy right here is going to allow him to take advantage of this here, which means that he is going to actually be able to use TJ's machine and gain 3 wood, which is absolutely phenomenal. Actually, no, you will not. This will only work for a machine that is single. You cannot do a machine that's been doubled. So you will put that wood back. Thank you very much. We will keep this legit for the viewing people because we do not want to cheat. So instead he has decided to take the victory point from over here. Yes, he can. Yep. It is a single card.
I didn't know if it had to be production or if it could be any.
You know, it does have a gear. Does that mean? Do all of them have gear? Yep, then I think we're safe, right? Okay. So Kevin collected up all of his resources. He used somebody else's ability. This guy's just saying he can build 2 extra slots in his machines. So now what he's going to do is he is going to try to purchase this. So 1, 2, 3. That card will go to him, and it'll go into his unfinished pile right there. And now what he is going to try to do is his 2 actions and see if he can't try to maybe build it or maybe just pass, because that would be cool. You should just pass. I mean, you don't do anything. Now, the one thing is that you can't do the same action two turns in a row. I don't know if I pointed that out, but it is very important. So he is going to do a reorganization, and he's going to he's going to do the exact same thing I already had down here that you guys had already seen. Kevin is absolutely boring. He's very vanilla. He just wants to follow suit of what everybody else is doing, and he's just one of those guys who's much of a follower, not so much of a leader, you know? And that's okay. So he is going to exchange 2 of his crystals, and he is going to gain 6 charcoal, and he's got that now. And I'd imagine he's going to use that charcoal now to turn into a victory point, which he did one time, and now he's gaining 1 victory point. So the game will end once somebody collects 20 of these victory points. Kevin right now has at least 5 victory points. So now he's done his 2 actions. He sees if he can complete any of the other projects. Kevin, can you? No, you cannot. So now it would go to me. I'm real simple. I just get 1 charcoal from that. But first I would have collected for all these. So I gained 1 charcoal for this, 1 wood for this, 1 wood, and 1 copper for that. So a wood, a copper, wood. I have fingers. I got new fingers. Okay, and then my guy will go over to here. And now I would perform my 2 actions, which unfortunately I have just been doing nothing but talking on the camera this whole time, and I have no clue what I want to do. But I do like that dude right there. That seems like a really good dude. So I'm going to slide this on up to there. I'm going to take 3 more charcoal, but I'm not going to actually pull it out. I'm just going to leave it in there because I'm going to pay 3 other, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to take that homeboy. Now what this guy does here is he says, and TJ's like, oh, you wanted him. That makes it even better. You are the sweetest assistant ever because you made TJ cry. So what this guy's saying is that I only have to pay the top part right here. I don't have to actually pay the level of the card. So this will make it a lot cheaper for me to get cards in the future. So, all right. Now that my turn's done, I do not have any of these things I can do. It will now go to Kendra. Kendra is up next. Kendra, what do you want to do? You get 4. So if we look on her thing, she has a thing. We're going to come over there and look at it. Well, actually, we could just do it from here. So she's got, there we go, thank you. So what she was able to do to be able to combine these 2 cards is that if we look right here, this card can combine with P3s, or if you want, you can actually modify the card with a T1, T3. This is a T1, if you notice right here. So what this is saying, now that this is on top, the frog is on the elephant, and now, instead of producing this, she will now produce 3 of the charcoal instead. So that gave her 3 charcoal instead of the actual copper. And then she created 1 copper and then an extra, it looks like wood, if I'm correct. Now, she will get 2 other of the charcoal.
And I'm going to use him to get 3.
And then, so she has an assistant that allows her to pay 3 charcoal to immediately get the top card. She doesn't know what it is, but it's a great way to just get cards to put in your pile to possibly build later. Now she's going to perform her 2 actions. Awesome. She's going to do reorganization, and she's going to destroy a card. So this is a great combination she has. She is doing really good. So what she has done is she reorganized, which means she pulled off the transmuter off of the elephant, and she put it onto, what was the thing you put it on?
It's the wood.
The wood, okay. And it does, now the wood did say it can take it, correct?
Yep.
And it does, yep, it does say a T1. So then, now what she's going to do is the other one, which is to actually deconstruct a card or destroy it, basically. She took one from here, which she's getting them basically really on the cheap, destroying it, and then she gets to take, because it's a level 2 card, she gets to pick any one of these 2 resources that are listed onto the card, and then it just goes there into the destroyed pile. Great Great turn, man. Great turn. All right. Last but not least is the homeless guy we found, TJ. TJ, would you like to do your turn? And he is going to collect quite a bit of stuff, if you notice here. Now, what he was able to do, he was able to build up his... he's got 2 of these carpenter cards on top of each other, which means instead of just 1 wood, he gains 3. He gains 1 copper and 1 charcoal. Now he'll gain an additional 3 charcoal out of here. Did you grab that yet, TJ? Okay. All right, 2, 3. And now he's going to perform his 2 actions, which I think he's going to drill, baby, drill, and he is going to construct. So he's going to gain, because of the drill, he's going to gain 3 more charcoalium, and then he is going to try to build a card, which he is going to build another elephant. Oh my God! Which means now he can place that elephant on top of the other elephant, and now it's a dual elephant. It's amazing. You are so amazing. I mean, nobody has stacked elephants before in this game, and you're about to be the first man to ever stack an elephant. We're all proud of you. Okay, so at the end of the round, what we do is, now TJ, did you match any of these up here? I don't think you did. You're getting close, but you're not quite yet there. So now what happens is this card gets destroyed. All these are going to slide down. Slide in, all night long. Slide in, slide in. Okay, and we turn up a new assistant. And basically a new round begins, but however, Brian is going to be first player this time. So that is pretty much it. What we're going to do is we're going to finish up the game, and then we're going to all come back after we conclude, and we'll give our final impressions of what we think of Imaginarium, the Dream Factory. All right, so Brian has to head out. He's unfortunately, you party pooper, you have to leave before the game's over.
Other games.
He's at more game, more game. Okay, so what was your initial impressions of this? Now, was this something that you had already seen on Kickstarter that you were somewhat interested in?
Yeah.
Okay, what was it that attracted you to this beautiful artwork?
This beautiful artwork, yeah.
Right,
the artwork
right.
and those minis are beautiful.
The designer, do you know who designed even? It's Bruno Cathala, which is one of my absolute favorite designers. Somebody's really yelling in the back, they're super excited. But it is Bruno Cathala, one of my favorite designers. This is by Bombix, it is currently on Kickstarter. Is this something that you would consider, I guess, possibly owning? Was it that much fun for you?
I'm thinking about it.
What was it that kind of attracted to you? Maybe the combinations that you can make with the cards, kind of the actions?
A lot of times I'm initially attracted by the art, but then looking at it, the mechanics seem to work really well. It's got a little bit like how Century does it, where you're trying to get the cheaper stuff, or maybe spend more to make sure that you get it sooner so somebody else doesn't get it.
Yeah.
And just kind of building up your engine and the limited space that you have to put your different machines.
Yes.
Can make a big difference. So you have to figure out, well, what do I want to combine? What do I want to get rid of? Because I can only have 4 out at a time.
Yes. Well, awesome. Well, thank you for your thoughts, man. And hey, have a good game day, brother.
Thank you. You too.
All right, so we just finished up the game. Kevin actually ended the game with, once he hit 20 points, he called it. Then we went through our resources, and majorities, you would get 2 victory points. So like, whoever had the most wood get 2 victory points. Whoever has the most copper, crystals, and the charcoal got 2 victory points. And 4 of them, I believe, went to TJ, 2 went to Kendra, and 2 went to Kevin. Kevin ended the game with 22 points and being victorious. We will not talk about how many points I ended the game with. TJ ended with 13 and Kendra 10, right?
Yep.
All right, so we wrapped it all up. I wouldn't mind if you guys want to collect your thoughts. Let's make our way around the table, kind of give your impressions. Kevin, what did you think of this one?
I really liked it. Great engine builder. The art and components are just absolutely fantastic. Kind of creepy and whimsical at the same time.
And you had a great engine going, man, and you really started pounding on these projects over here. He actually had forgotten that he had hit this one, which ended up giving him, you know, the victory there. So there's quite a few little things you can kind of overlook in your first game, but I think with repetitive plays, it could become a little bit easier for you. But of course, it doesn't matter. You won the first time. You can just put it up and say, hey, I'm done. Kendra, what did you think of this one?
I actually really enjoyed it. It's a great engine builder. Basically, echoing what Kevin said, the art's great. It's whimsical. It's fun. It has good resource management. Good overall balance. I never felt like, well, Kevin. The rest of us were all pretty much, you know, terms seemed fair and everything else. So
Except for Kevin.
Except for Kevin.
Except for Kevin, yeah.
I think he cheated.
We're all confident he cheated because he never wins at games. TJ, what did you think of this one, bud?
Yeah, this is an extremely solid game. The artwork is very good. I mean, it is extremely solid. I really like it a lot. The mechanics are very clean. It took just a moment to kind of get a sense of the mechanics of it, but once you get past that, it's definitely a top level game.
Yeah, yeah, it is a lot of fun. I think my favorite part is, now that I've played a game, trying to look for the right combination of the cards as they come out, because I overlooked a lot of really good ones that I think could have possibly allowed me to score more than 3 victory points. But see, some of these like resource cards and trying to get them stacked early on is going to benefit you so greatly. And really cards, like if you could try to get the extra ones that give you the charcoal, like this frog here. I had 1 frog and I built, but if I could have gotten a second one and then start converting them cubes into like 5 charcoal. Now Kendra did great because she ended up building a great charcoal machine where she ended up getting 2 of the charcoal lead cards together, so she was getting 3 for that, plus then she was getting 3 for the frog, so she was getting 6 charcoal each round, which really helps you try to get the cards you need, plus trying to be able to recruit these guys up here. So my final impression is that this, look guys, I am getting seriously bored of just your typical Euro style games. This is not, I mean, it is a worker placement style game, but it gives you so much awesome engine building and a lot of fun decisions to make. This is certainly a game that I really enjoyed quite a bit. TJ, you got something else you'd like to say?
I was going to say that the turn order and how it's, depending on what you pick, dictates the next turn's turn order. I think that was undervalued initially, because
it was, yes.
It was no less than 4 times that Kevin picked a card that I was going to get that same turn.
Yeah.
And I was like, God, dang it.
TJ was becoming Mr. Furious over here.
My face would be red if I didn't have the beard. But no, it really just highlights that there are a lot of different aspects to the game, and it's very well done.
Yeah, yeah, and I love how the cards here, they really balance well with the assistants up here, and it's really going to kind of determine what you're going to do, because none of my guys really ever played that much of a big deal into what I did, but like Kevin's guys played a huge impact on what he was able to do. Being able to have 2 extra machines, being able to copy somebody else's machine to be able to gain extra resources, great abilities, great assistance, and then even with her, she was able to buy the top card off of the deck, a random blind card for 3, but then she was generating so much charcoal so that she was able to afford that. Then she can just destroy those, gaining resources. Plus then she was able to exchange just 3 charcoal instead of 5 for a victory point. So each of you guys did great on getting your assistants to try to work really well with the machines that you were building below, whereas I just felt like I was just here just twiddling my thumbs and just being a person on the board. Hey, I'm a distraction. So all right guys, we're going to wrap this one up. This is a game I certainly enjoyed an awful lot. Check it out on Kickstarter, and thank you for watching. Bye-bye.